God called the Garden of Eden, the garden Eden, which means pleasure. How could it be pleasurable with Satan around? Even if there is as this evil was there, as the tree suggested. A garden without a proper border is like the US when criminals are allowed in. No mention of any design laws for Satan, which is so powerful without restraint and lives a long. I'm trying to read so because it's not actually written quite precisely, so I'm trying to figure it out. And without restraint and live a long life. From a human perspective, who is to blame for knowingly allowing a pedophile into kindergarten? Please clear my thinking with your wisdom. So there's a lot of assumptions in here that are untrue that are causing your difficulty. First, Adam and Eve had the entire planet free of any flaw, defect, sin, and Satan could only approach them at one tree on the entire planet. This was not allowing, and Satan had no power to harm them. He had no power over them at all. Adam had complete authority over everything in this planet. So they were not vulnerable victims, children to a powerful predator who could dominate and take their liberties from them. No, that's a false premise. It's not like a child in a kindergarten room. You talk about boundaries. There was a boundary. Satan was restricted to the tree. He could only approach them in one tree. They didn't have to go near it. They didn't have to go over there. They never had to even engage in a conversation. So I don't see the problem. And in fact, the tree was put there for the purpose of their development. They didn't have to actually go there to think through the issues. They could think through the issues because they were explained to them by angels and by God himself. And they could choose to never go over there. And thus they would know by not going over, they would know loyalty. They would know faithfulness. They would know love. They would know trust in God. I trust him. I don't need to go over there. I trust him. And thus they would know the good. Or they could go and partake of the fruit and know lies, distrust, fear, selfishness, guilt. The only way for them to develop was for them to have something to make a choice upon as a free moral being. Without an opportunity for choice, there would be no development of their character. And God can create sinless beings, but character has to be developed by the choices of the free-thinking being, and that's why it was put there. So it was a garden of pleasure. That's what it was designed to be, a pleasurable place for people who live in harmony with the laws that God built life to operate upon. All right, guys, thank you, and I'm looking forward to being there with you next week.